I wanted to put together a video clip for 9/11 as a tribute to the people who died, who lost their lives, but also the people who are left behind to pick up the pieces. I know for me and my family it was a very traumatic experience. Our oldest daughter was at school, and I had our middle daughter and our youngest with me on the couch with their Elmo dolls watching Sesame Street when my friend called me early in the morning to tell me that one of the towers had gone down. I think most of us, if you're old enough, remember how it went down and where you were when it did. It's one of those moments that stays with you. It was an amazing time. I never saw our country more united than after 9/11, people giving up their business suits to, become firemen or police officers, or to just live their dream, and decide that life is short, and they wanted to make a difference and be happy. And I think maybe we need to remember that sentiment and bring it into the present day. We're all very divided right now on what our beliefs are, and when it comes down to it, it seems that only tragedy brings us together, and that's a shame. So keep that in mind on your day-to-day life when you're being kind or not so kind to somebody, that how you want to be remembered, I think, is important. When 9/11 happened, I was pretty new to mediumship professionally. A lot has changed in 10 years. I've got a lot more practice under my belt, obviously. But I remember when it did happen, doing a reading for a woman. I think it was 6 to 9 months after 9/11 happened, and she wanted me to bring her husband through, and I'd brought a lot of spouses through, and so I went through the process of giving the information that I was picking up on him, and I found it very confusing because he kept talking about something coming down on him, like not being able to breathe, and that it was quick and not to worry, and he kept showing a building coming down, and I really couldn't make sense of what I was experiencing, because he was the first person that I brought through that died in one of the towers for 9/11. I've also brought through people who were on the flights, and that really does stay with you. It taught me a lot, and not to minimize other types of passings, but the fear that was involved, and at the same time the sense of peace, once they knew that they were being taken, that they weren't alone, that there were people from the other side that loved them, that were there to remove them quickly. I found comforting. If we couldn't bring them back, at least we could know that the fear had been removed from them. So I hope that as you spend your time on 9/11, that you spend it laughing with your family. That's the best tribute to pay to people who pass. They like to see that your life is worth living, and that they're in your heart and memories, and that they played a role in your world. So as we approach 9/11, and even the days following 9/11, as they say, never forget.